Hi, I'm Paul Blackshaw from Meridian Agriculture, and I'm going to talk a bit today about informed decision making and budgets. So, at certain times of the year, we reflect back on the past performance of the farm business, but also what's really important is to be able to look forward in terms of the expectation of what the farm might be able to do in the next 12 months or something. And so, informed decision making is a term that we use a lot with farmers. So, it's important to make really practical on the ground decisions, but also from a financial aspect, it's important to think about having as much information as you can about any decisions that you're making. So being able to understand the financial implications of any decision that you're going to make on your farm it can give you some real clarity, and also in fact it might be a deciding factor whether you even make that change. So one of the most important tools and useful tools in informed decision making is the cash flow budget. And so a lot of research suggests that only about 50% of farmers actually have a cash flow budget, and then there's an even smaller percentage of those that really use it as a management tool. A lot really just prepare it for the bank, and it sits in the drawer for the rest of the year and it's not particularly used. But there's some evidence that suggests that most highly profitable farmers actually use their budget as a really serious part of the management of their business, and it gives them a valuable roadmap, if you like, to how the business is going to perform for the next 12 months. So I think a lot of barrier to people doing a cash flow budget is they're a bit scared about what it all looks like, and it doesn't have to be complex. In a lot of cases, you can use an Excel spreadsheet that's either been prepared for you by somebody else. It might be your accountant, it might be your bank, or you can even do one by hand on a piece of paper, or a lot of accounting packages now let you do a budget as part of your accounting package. But some of the basics that really need to go into the budget are up the top here. You need to have the months of the year. So normally we run them from July through to June, so for the financial year, and each month has a column. Pretty straightforward. On this side, we'd be looking to put the various income for the business. So that might be it might be sheep sales, or it might be wool sales, and so each of those basically get put in the appropriate month that you think that you're going to make those sales during the year. And towards the end here, you'd probably have a total column as well. Down the next little section here is your expenses for the business, and these will be reflective of probably what's in your tax return. So you'll have them split up according to those normal categories. But bare minimum, it needs to be all your fixed costs. So fixed costs like your accounting and your rates and insurance, those sorts of things, and then what we call your variable costs. So they're things like your drench, your feed, those fertiliser, those sorts of things need to be all listed. And so this can be as long or as complex as you want it to be. And again, as you think you're going to spend that money, you'll put the dollar figures in your budget, depending on where you think that cost's going to be incurred through the year. So the final thing is to do your totalling down the bottom. So basically you add up for each month, you add up all your income, you subtract your expenses, and that'll give you the monthly figure of how your business has performed. So in most farm businesses, there will be some months where that figure is negative, where you have a lot of costs and no income, and then generally you'll have a couple of big chunks of income. So that'll be quite positive in those couple of months, and typically what you'll find is that your actual cash flow for your business, will be, we call it lumpy. So you'll have a lot of income in some months and a lot of expenses in others, so that your cash flow will look like that. And then over here, which is your total, this essentially is your cash profit that you're forecasting for your business. So I hope that little example gives you a bit of an idea. It doesn't have to be all that difficult. That's some of the stuff it needs to contain.